Hello friends, this is Wendy and I make interactive photo journals. If you followed me, you may have actually seen this photo, this particular page before. When I first started this journal, I'm still picking up, sorry. I do my best work, quite honestly, I do my best work in chaos. Because if I've totally cleaned off this desk, which I come close to cleaning it off, but if I totally clean it off, I can't work anymore. I mean, it's like, I don't know. My head just can't wrap around something so clean. Anyway, I started this book. Wow, it's over, well, let's just say around a year and a half ago. Maybe longer, maybe less. I really don't know. But I started this book. My original plan was to create the book. In fact, I'm going to pull stuff out. Okay, if my desk wasn't already chaotic enough. But what I had originally done, if you don't already know, I put my projects in jumbo Ziploc bags. These are hefty bags, but you know what I mean, with little zippers on them. I had originally filled this with paper, and it was all this kind of colored paper. Some is colored on both sides, some just on one. The story is the Color Kittens. So I had colorful pages, and I filled the book just with paper. I don't like that. If you probably have figured that out already, but I personally don't like that. You can see where I had 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 signatures in there, and I'm hoping that I won't have to change the spine out, but I probably will just do 3, maybe every other one. I don't know. We'll see how it works when the time comes. If worse comes to worse, I will tear the spine out and start over. I was a lot sloppier when I first started. I think that just comes with practice, you know. Anyway, this was probably the second book I put together. And back then, the idea was, and if you've watched any amount of YouTube videos on junk journals, they make the journal first, and then they start adding whatever to them. And if you've watched any of my videos, I have found that I don't know whether my mind just doesn't work that way, or I'm really picky about the way my pages, which is probably true. I'm definitely got some serious OCD. Look at me, I'm cleaning out those little snags there. But anyway, so what I ended up having though is one signature that I had already started. And see, I've already taped down a bunch of pictures. So I have this one signature that is what it is. So I started this over a year ago, and I'll show you one more thing. So I have this by Tim Holtz, and you can see I used one here. And I have this also, you can see these, by Tim Holtz, and I used one, let me find it, I just barely had it, right here. And I do have these others, and these are Spellbinder, and I will be using them as well. But I thought, now, how many ways can I use these cats? And it would have to do with the background, right? Because the cats are just cats, right? But a few things have happened over the past year and a half. I've learned a lot. I've watched Pete Hughes. If you don't know who Pete Hughes is, oh my goodness, he is amazing. He is the creator of Infinite Doodles. The P there means Pete Hughes. Oh, his name is even right there. See right there. And then there's a gal named Deb Hewlett, and She takes these shapes and makes all kinds of amazing things. And that's what Pete does. He takes the shapes and makes amazing things with them. And then just recently, Tim Holtz has said, treat all of your shapes as shapes. So, well, first, I did use Infinite Doodles, and I also used Vault Atomic Retro. So I use this for the eyes. So let's get closer here, right? Got these for the eyes. I've got Infinite Doodles for part of this. This is definitely, the whiskers are from here. I've seen Deb Hewlett use this for her whiskers. Anyway, you start to think a little outside of the box. And the shapes, oh, sorry, I already put the page protector on there. But shapes are anything you want them to be. So, for example, how about artsy leaves? Well, these are obviously leaves, right? Or are they? They're shapes, right? And I was just thinking, just like I used, a shape for the body, what if I want to use the cat body to be? And though Hedwig looks very, very slender and lovely, she is now quite large. But what if I want to use this shape for her body and then do the head and put little feet there? And because that's what I'm kind of thinking about doing. I'm going to be doing a bunch of cat shapes, and I want them all to be different. And you may say, I don't like cats, or I don't want to do cats, or anything. And that's fine. It's the idea of taking shapes and looking at them as shapes. See, this could be a body. Even though it's a leaf, it could be a body. It could be anything I want it to be. I don't know what the word is. I don't think like that, although I'm starting to, I'm starting to go, well, and I have used these just in themselves instead of sticking them with another leaf. I have used them on their own. Anyway, there's all kinds of things that you can do with your shapes. And so that's kind of what I'm going to be working on for a little bit. My shapes are probably all going to turn into being cats because I've got a lot of cat pictures. But you could make them into birds. You can make them into rock formations. There are rock formations in Utah and Arizona are just amazing. And you could use even leaves to make rock formations out of, this is probably my favorite of all the leaves, but look what, I think it's a very versatile shape. So with that said, here we go. Okay, so the first shape that I want to make is a crescent moon. You may already know how to do this. I've honestly never done it. I have this picture of Hedwig when she was still very, very little, and I want her kind of sitting on a crescent moon. It's going to go on this page here. And I've made so many mistakes. I mean, I haven't, I guess, because it's not done yet. So there really isn't a mistake. But I did cut out this little bit here, and then I stuck this paper behind it. And I had planned on stuffing these things behind this paper, but I glued it down. So then I had to come up with something else. So I added this little postcard thing. And these each have a little bit of my story on it. The story of Hedwig. And so this was a larger tag that I just cut out. These two are from Stamperia, a Stamperia set that I had. I'm not even sure where I got this. It just goes well with those colors. And since she's sleeping, I wanted to make this nice and soft. So I want to put a crescent moon here. And I want to put a cloud that I'm just gonna glue probably on, you know, two sides like that so that this stays in a little better. And I may put a few more clouds. So, but the first shape, I'm taking a circle and I'm gonna make a crescent moon out of it. By the way, these circles are by Sizzix. So I'm using this cat that I made as a guideline, and I do think I want to add some ink on there. I used these two pieces from nope, not Abstract Elements, from Infinite Doodle. I don't know what I did with, oh wait, it's on the other side, haha. Anyway, on Infinite Doodles. And I'm also using this piece from Infinite Doodles. I cut these down a little bit so that they'll fit on the face. And I'm going to cut this. So I'm going to make the eyes very, very similar. Okay, so here's the crescent. I just used two circles to make it. and the rest is papers. And love is a Tim Holtz, and so are the hearts. This is one I did the other day. I like the whiskers out there better than what I did here because I forgot to put the whiskers. Actually, I kind of like it though. The little nose. So the heart, these are two different Tim Holtz hearts. This is that leaf that I showed you. This is just a shape on abstract elements. Everything else, well, this actually came from one of the cats. And all of these other pieces, well, no. This piece here comes from the retro something. What did I do with that? Here we go, Vault Atomic Retro. It's this piece right there. The whiskers came from here, this one right there. And then the other pieces, the ears and her little mask, because she's definitely a little raccoon-looking kitty, came from Pete Hughes's Infinite Doodles. Anyway, so I love this one. She's a lot like this one here, but I do not intend on making all of the cats exactly the same. I mean, the eyes and everything. I have all kinds of other shapes to use. So the next cat that I make, which I'm going to put here, will be different. Let's hope. I plan on it being different than these two and this. And let's see, where's the other one? Oh, see, her little raccoon face isn't the cutest. Or like that. But I have all kinds of cats to make. So anyway, if you enjoyed this, please give it a big thumbs up. Hit the notification bell, subscribe if you haven't already, and get your shapes out and start kind of playing around and seeing what you can do. My husband, though, he does not like how abstract this is. He says he has a hard time even seeing a cat in it. I'm sorry. I hope everyone can see the cat because I sure can. Anyway, have a wonderful day. Meow.